Temperatures well below freezing, you need to be on the lookout for icy roads this morning. Matt Gregory live in Northwest D.C. And Matt, we know the main roads are looking pretty good, but what are we seeing on the side streets? Because we know this was an issue yesterday. They've had time to deal with them, but what's the status of those side roads and side streets today?
Wisdom, we wanted to give you an idea of what it's going to look like for those of you making a commute into D.C., right? So we're going to be checking the roads that are just offside some of those major bridges. So we're in Foxhall Road, which is, just a mile up so from the Key Bridge, right? It's one of the main routes people use to get into Northwest D.C. in this area outside of Georgetown. You can see, I'll take you through it, the road is pretty clear, right? You still see a little bit of salt patches here, but for the most part, everything that's melted has sort of left the area. It's evaporated. And so what we're dealing with in these areas is a very dry streets. But here's where your problems are going to be, because we're going to come into the side street here just off of Foxhall Road. Remember yesterday I was talking about, if you remember at all, one of the things that happened is that when we reached levels this cold, salt is not as effective, right? So this right here is a patch here. This is a stop sign, or a stoplight rather. So as you're coming up to places, stoplights on roads that are off of the main roads, you can see this is ice. So one of the issues you will have is when you're coming up to stoplights, stop signs, braking too quickly or accelerating too fast. This can cause issues. We have little patches of this, and kind of a thing that I use when I'm out driving, when I see temperatures like this, is I look for anything that looks sort of wet or like a little slick. That's generally, at this point with the temperatures this low, going to be just a patch of ice. So be careful, keep your eyes on the road and kind of looking at those areas that look a little slick. What we're going to do next is we're going to head over to some other areas just off of the exits into DC to get an idea of what those streets look like, to give you an idea of what your commute can look like coming in from Virginia or other parts of Maryland. But for now, in Northwest DC, I'm Matt Gregory. Back to you.
Matt, thanks.